Hi there, welcome back to my channel. This is Tammy with Tammy's Crafty Life. I'm so glad you've joined me today. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you like what you see and you'll come back. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back again. This will be a pretty short video today. It's all about cross stitch. I have a fully finished object, a finished object, and what do I do with my finished object? Oh, there it is. Okay. And some whips, and then some plans that I'll tell you about. So I'm going to jump right in and talk about my fully finished object. There is a stitch along going on, I think it's still going on, hosted by Sweetwater Stitcher and Mrs. Jones Stitches, that is Big Hearted Tiny Town. And I already had this and was planning to stitch it, so I jumped in. I haven't posted it to Instagram yet, but mine is complete. And this is it. Let's see. I should do that for my, hopefully, screenshot. I stitched this on 16 count slate by Fiber on a Whim. And 16 count is too small for this backer. This is the Shelf Sitter by Chantel's 141 Design Company. She made it specifically for the tiny towns. And so since it wasn't quite big enough, I went ahead and I still used it because that's what I wanted to use. And I added some extra fabric at the end and I put this covered button. I don't know if you can see, that's a little ladybug, was a brad that I took off its little legs and then I put on the bow. This trim is from Hobby Lobby. It's just a cording. I didn't use the traditional colors. I didn't have all of them, and they are kind of corally, and I like more pink, but I did have, I don't know what I did with it. I did have a whole set of Weeks Dye Works pinks from when I was in the Fat Quarter Shop Floss of the Month Club, and I received a whole set of Weeks Dye Works pinks, and they are more blue pink than corally pink. So this is my Big Hearted Tiny Town. I love it. I have 2 tiny towns left to stitch. One of them I've started over twice, the blooming one. I still have the patriotic one. I don't remember what it's called. Might be called patriotic anyway. And I understand there's another one coming out at market, and I am anxious to see it because I do love the Heart and Hand tiny towns. They are so much fun. So that was my one fully finished object. I'm hoping to have another one soon. I do have one that I just need to fully finish. I have 2 that I need to fully finish. So then my next thing is a finish. I've been working on Hands-On Design, A Year of Celebrations, and I just finished February, which is right there. Did I use the called for colors? I used the called for DMC. I think so it's the DMC conversion, because I think she uses all fancy floss in this. And I cannot remember the fabric this is on. It's a Be Stitch Me fabric, but this is my February. It was a lot of fun to stitch and really quick to stitch. One of my goals each month is to work on a calendar piece. So this one I was able to start and finish all within January. So that was nice. So that's all of my finishes and fully finishes. And now I have some works in progress to show you. Let's see. One of my favorites that I've been working on, I started this on New Year's Eve, is Forever in Peace by Sweet Wing Studio. I think the way that she designed this is beautiful because it looks lacy, and it's not. It's just a full coverage. Wherever the flag is full coverage, using only, uses 2 shades of blue, 2 shades of red, white, and a tan. And she calls for fancy flosses, but I'm using DMC. I just pulled out my same DMC red, white, and blue that's in my red, white, and blue bag. I'm almost done with the blue portion. This is where I am. I have this little bit right here left to do of this one color, and then I can move on to the reds. However, I was distracted by something new. I have seen several Flosstube people work on One Nation by Bygone Stitches. And then one of my friends bought it. Actually, two of my friends had it. And we decided to stitch it together. And everybody I've seen doing this, it's humongous. So I decided to stitch this 1/1 on 25 count Lugana. So mine's not going to be as big. It's going to be 8 by 22 or 8 by 16, I think is what it's going to be, around there. So I started this yesterday. My friend Diane started it yesterday also. And it doesn't look like much, and it's going to be hard to see because it is on 25 count 1/1. But that is my little start. I am using, it uses fancy flosses also. I am using just red, white, and blue. So I'm using the conversions, which are, my blue is 336, my red is 321. I changed the red. And then it calls for ecru, and I don't care for ecru, and I didn't want white, so I'm using 3865. It calls for crescent colors in Cupid Blacksmith Blue and Antique Lace. I think it's going to be beautiful, and it is fun to stitch on. This is the second time I've started a project this 1/1 on 25 count, and I like the way it looks. There are days when I have to use my magnifier, but with this one especially, because it's an open, it's a huge piece, but it's an open design. There's fabric showing between all of the parts of it. This one is being really easy to stitch, to see what I need to do. And I can't wait to make some progress on it and actually see it going. And then my last thing that I worked on is, oh no, I have two other, anyway, my last whip, as far as a cross stitch whip, is I've been working on the Koala Biscornu by Tiny Modernist, and I don't know if it's pronounced Biscornu or Biscornu. I don't know, but I pronounce it Biscornu. I think he's adorable. And I did finish the top. And now I'm working on the bottom. I have a tiny little start on the bottom. The bottom piece is just flowers in each corner, so there's my tiny little start. That's one of the flowers. That's part of one of the flowers. I'm taking a class at my local needle workshop on February 11th. That's how to put a biscornu together. Although Tiny Modernist does have a video on her website that explains it in great detail and makes it look really simple. So we'll see. It's going to be a little fiddly because what you're doing is taking two square pieces and putting them together so the points are offset from each other. So we'll see. I did learn that stitching with one strand of DMC floss, I need to use a lot shorter piece, because part of how you put it together is this stitched line all the way around. And I started out with that being one strand of floss, and halfway up one side my floss came apart. So I went back and did it with two strands of floss, and I also changed that color. You can see here they used orange. I don't like orange, so I just used the dark green that's also in the picture. I think these koalas are adorable. Absolutely adorable. I can't wait to finish that. The other things I worked on is that I did two, I need something color to put it, maybe I'll just use this book. I did two scissor fobs from Fern Ridge Collections. This one is called Beach House. I'll put it on this book and hold it up so you can see it. Oops, sorry. I love doing these. They're very addicting. I have 4 or 5 others. And then I also have some of my own designs, which are nowhere near as creative as the Fern Ridge Collections ones. The other one I did is the Flamingo Fob, and that one was a gift, and I already gave it to my sister. So I think I have a picture of it. If I do, I'll put it in here. And that's all that I've worked on. I got distracted with getting onto Forever in Peace. I really, really like that. And then when I worked on the Big Hearted Tiny Town. I really wanted to finish it, so I worked on it nonstop. And then Koala Biscorn U is the project that sits at my recliner, and I work on it in the evenings. Excuse me. And so once I finished Big Hearted Tiny Town, then I focused on Forever in Peace for a while, and it is full coverage, that part, so it's taking a while. What I didn't show on this, in case you haven't seen this before, the shelf sitter that Chantel made, this piece comes out. It's all dusty. It all comes unfinished, and you put it together. And then, they're unfinished wood, so I painted mine black. But I'm using magnets so I can keep putting all the tiny towns on here. Magnets on the back. And then it just goes... Oh, now it's not wanting to go in the right spot. But then you just put it on there. And there are slots on each end here that this sits in here. So that's how the shelf sitter works. You could put any of the long stitches on it, or you could put several small stitches, like square ones, all across there. I love Chantel's stuff. She does a good job. So that is all of the stitching that I've done. The plans that I have coming up, I told about my goals in a previous video, and I'm going to be changing them a little bit. I'm not sure exactly how. I started out wanting to do whip go. I may not do it. I'm not sure. I've not yet stitched on the 2 that were called for January, and January's almost over. I was distracted by some stitch-alongs that are starting. I'm a member of the Shannon Christine subscriber group, Shannon Christine Design subscriber group, and you pay to be in that group, and each month she gives you some new charts, and I love her charts. And this month, well, now, starting today, depending on when you saw this video, she's doing a mystery stitch along, and the sneak peek of it that she did was absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to participate in Shannon Christine's mystery stitch along. And then Chantel from 141 Design Company is hosting a stitch along with Hands-On Designs new Mad for Plaid set, and Chantel made a piece specifically for that, a wooden piece, a Becker. So I'm going to participate in that one. That one starts on Sunday. I'm waiting to receive my patterns from Chantel and the Becker. Hopefully I'll have them either tomorrow or Monday so I can get started. And then my other plans are that I still, like for February, I still want to work on a calendar piece. One of my other plans is to finish a small every month. I did that. I finished my strawberry, which is the one I still need to fully finish, but I finished stitching my strawberry. I've worked on one of my full coverage pieces, and I can't remember what else is in my plans. I've worked on Flags on the 4th. That's Forever in Peace. Other than cross stitch, I did 2 fobs. And one of my things is hardanger. I pulled out the hardanger tree that I took a class several months ago. I only got a few stitches in it, so I didn't show it today, but I hope to finish that soon. So those are what's left for January, except for my 2 whip go pieces, which I haven't touched, so I haven't decided yet if I'll be touching those. So those are my upcoming plans. I just love to stitch, and I want to change my goals a little bit so that they allow me to stitch whatever I want, whenever I want, but still meet some goals. So I'm working on that. The last thing I want to share with you, I'm very excited about this. I am hosting a smalls exchange. A small is anything that's the stitched piece is 6 by 6 or smaller. I have 2 examples here that I consider smalls. I think this one's dusty. This is Thankful Town by Heart in Hand, and I took a class for this, and then I finished it on this fun box from Hobby Lobby. I've shown this before. So this is a small. This is Primrose Cottage Stitches, Strawberry Cottage. It's out of a booklet that they published. This is like 3 by 4 maybe. And then this is a piece that I got from Hobby Lobby. It actually said something on it. And I sanded it off and then painted this white. So this is a small, a strawberry or a biscornu. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm hiccuping. A strawberry or a biscornu would also be considered a small. I consider a small. There's lots of things. This also, I know you guys are probably tired of saying this. I also consider this a small because it is a very small stitched piece, but how I finished it is bigger. And I did this to be functional. This is my stitchy box with my little, it's going to have tools in there. I'm taking a class on Sunday, and this is the first time I'm taking it with me. But I saw, I think I must have been on Facebook because I don't really go anywhere else. I saw somebody take this same trunk, and it is this way. Whoops, sorry. They put a stitched piece here and like a news article or something in here, and then they display it like this. So it's only for decoration. I did this one to be functional. So that's a small also. Sorry, I shouldn't show that ever again because I've showed that to you way too many times. So if you would like to participate, there'll be a link below to a Google form. Please fill out that Google form. The deadline to fill out the form will be February 6th, and then I will notify people of who I've partnered them with. I think I've been trying to decide if I will partner people together where you swap. But the swaps I've participated in, the person you're sending something to is not necessarily the person who is sending to you, and I kind of like that better. So I think I'm going to do it that way. So hopefully by like February 8th, you would know who your partner is. And then I want to give you time to stitch it. So I'm going to give 6 weeks for stitching and then have it in the mail by March 20th. This is a perfect time. If you purchased the mystery box from Chantel, mystery make-along box from Chantel's 141 Design Company, it is made for smalls, and she made it for people who are going to participate in exchanges or just want to do small pieces. So it's a perfect time to use one of those. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to stitch. It's going to depend on who I get and what their likes and dislikes are. When I build the Google form, it'll ask some of those questions. So I hope you will join me in that. I have no idea how many people will participate, so I could be biting off more than I can chew, but we'll see. So as I said, sign up closes on February 6th, so on the 7th is when I will close the form and start matching people up with each other. And that's all that I have for this video today. It's been a while since I did a video, and I forgot what I was going to say. Oh well, I guess it wasn't important. It just flew out of my head. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day and do a lot of fun crafting. Bye for now.